Hey, thanks for waiting outside. Now, get in. Let's ride.
Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of Come Ride with Dave. My name's Dave, of course, and just left Costco and filled up. And it was only $2.89 a gallon. Looks like gas is finally coming down a little bit. Actually, it was $2.79 a gallon. That's even better. Especially when, I'm driving the car I'm driving now versus when I first started out, which that's what we'll discuss today is, how to approach doing rideshare in a medium-sized town. I'm part of a larger market of Nashville, but I actually drive in Murfreesboro, which is about 40 miles southeast of Nashville, but it's still contained within the Nashville market, so I get all the perks and everything that go along with that. Do get quite a few rides, offered to go to Nashville. Problem is, you usually don't have anything coming back, so you got some empty miles, and that was the case. That was a problem back when I first started, because I was driving my Toyota Tundra 2010 model, which is paid off, so all I had to do was pay for the gas in it. Problem is, it was costing me at least $1,200 a month just in gas alone, because the thing only got brand new, the sticker says 12 miles a gallon, so with it having almost 200,000 miles on it, I'm sure it probably doesn't get that many. So I had the contemplation of, I'm doing this full time, what should I do for a vehicle? So what I did was, I decided to get a hybrid. I was going to get a Tesla, but I didn't want the Model 3, I want a Y, because I'm 6'3", and I just need the extra headroom and leg room. But I did end up finding a hybrid. I got a Hyundai Sonata and bought it brand new, because I knew I was just going to put miles and miles, so I didn't want to buy something used that already had miles on it. So I figured buying this with the car payment and with the gas that I saved, because it is a hybrid, it gets 45 to 50 miles per gallon, I'd come out less than that $1,200 I was spending on the Tundra, and it has averaged about $900 to $1,000 per month to operate this vehicle. So, and that's all I use this for is for Ubering, because like I said, it sits on the ground kind of too. It's a great driving vehicle, has a ton of technology in it, but it's just not very comfortable for a tall guy to sit in all day. So in my market, it's a medium-sized market. Like I said, it's outside of Nashville. It's not really worth it to drive to Nashville and work up there, because the pay is not that much more, but the rides, just the amount of distance you'd have to travel to get to somebody would be almost double what it is here. And then you have more traffic, deal with the downtown area, which once I get a dash cam, I'll show you what that's all about. It's, by the time you get done running those people around, you're about at wit's end, because you're just so nervous from people walking out in front of you and everything else in the tourist district. But yeah, so I stick around here mainly during the day. And at first, the whole thing with my first 9 months of doing this is trying to figure out a strategy. How can I drive the least amount but make the most amount of money? And at first they were offering 2 quests a week. One was for Monday through Thursday, and it would be maybe an extra $50 to $100, and it would be for 70 runs or rides. And they took that one away from me about 2 months ago, but they kept the weekend Friday through Sunday quest, which was more lucrative. It paid more than the weekly quest, but it went down, and just a few weeks ago it went back up a little bit, but nowhere where it was in the springtime. I was getting an extra, I want to say probably $200 just for my 3-day quest on the weekends back in the spring. But it hasn't been anything like that. It's been usually about $50 to $100. And so what I devised was a plan to do 70 runs Monday through Thursday, and then depending on the amount of the second leg of the quest for the weekend, I would do either 40 or 50 for Saturday and Sunday. So once the quest calmed down and everything, or not calmed down, but just kind of went away for the week, then I decided I'd go ahead and stay on that path. I'll do, 60 runs, 20 runs a day, Monday through Wednesday, and then that'll give me a short day on Thursday, and then do on Friday, the app lets you stay on there for 12 hours at a time. So on Friday, I would work that full 12 hours, try to get as many of those 40 or 50 done, and then finish them up on Saturday. This past weekend, I only chose the 40 total quest instead of 50 because the extra 10 just was not worth it. It was only like $20, and I want that second quest for 10 extra to put the extra mileage and time it takes on the vehicle. I want it to be at least 40 to 50 bucks, but it was nowhere near that this weekend, so I only did 40. And Friday I was able to knock out 31, and so I only had 9 left to do Saturday morning. Got up at 5 o'clock Saturday morning, had them done by 8. So I had pretty much all of Saturday off, and I always take Sunday off. So I basically work 6 days a week. Around here, you can't really cherry pick. I see a lot of videos talking about how to make more money and about cherry picking. You can at certain times of the day, like, in the morning and in the evening rush hour, but you can't really cherry pick during the slower times because they're usually gone so fast anyway because the drivers nab them up, so you pretty much have to grab what you can. The minimum here is about $3.81 for rides, $2.02 for Uber Eats. I do not take those anymore because I got tired of restaurants not fixing drinks. You'd go in there and there'd be an empty cup waiting for you. I just don't have time for that, and I don't like putting drinks in my car anyway. So I just stopped doing Uber Eats altogether. It would make my day go faster if I did them, because I would pick up, deliveries when the rides are slowing down. Like right now, it's 9:30 in the morning on Monday, October 30th, and there was nothing pinging at all. So I'd only done 8 rides up to that point, so I just went ahead and turned my radar off and decided just to go on home and film this on the way home. But anyway, my strategy now is, what I have developed is getting up at 5 o'clock, getting out of the house as early as possible. And because I live 8 miles outside of town, I've got to get up a little bit earlier just so I can, approach the factories and stuff that are letting off for third shift. I try to get at least 10 done. Usually if I leave out of the house, if I get out of there by 5:30, I can get done by 10 with 10 rides done. And today it just slowly, I did 8 and it just died off completely. So I figured, well, I'll just do 12 this evening. So what I do is, once I get, the 8 or 10 done, or by 10, I usually knock off by 10. Then I go back home because there's just nothing going on, or if it is, it's all $4 rides and it's just not worth it to be out there. And I'll take a nap if I want to, or I'll edit my videos for YouTube because I do have other channels as well. And that's about it. Then I get out at probably no later than 2:30. Typically I like to get out by around 2, because if you wait too long, then I'm gonna run into school traffic. So try to get out there before that builds up, and then I'll just knock out the rest. And like Monday through Wednesday, if I get like 10 done really fast, then I'll go ahead and knock a few out on top of that to count towards Thursday's total of 10. So like Thursday morning, ideally I like to have only 5 runs left to do. So I can just get up at 5, go out, knock my 5 runs out, come back home, go back to bed for a little while. Then I've got the rest of the day off to do what I want. And also, it's a good thing for me to rest up because, you know, Friday is my long day. I work 12 hours minimum. And that's how I approach it. Do me a favor, if you live in a medium-sized town, when I say medium, I mean around, you know, 100,000 to probably, you know, 250K people, you know, nothing too large and nothing too small. Too small, you wouldn't be able to make a living in. Let me know if you work in that kind of market and what kind of strategies you use. And just leave a comment down below. I'm sure I've left some things out because I'm just doing freestyle. I'm just driving home, and that's how I'm going to do this channel is, you know, just talk about whatever just comes across my mind. I did have an incident last Friday night at a high school football game with a drunk teenager, so I may be discussing, you know, that situation and asking your opinion on the situation as well, and see if I handled it correctly, because that's what I want to do. I want to do, you know, down in the comments, I'd like to discuss and give you guys an open forum to discuss how you would handle the situation, and just, you know, compare and see how, you know, maybe you'll get ideas of how you should treat a situation differently, or how you could have handled it better, or, you know, and if you don't want to handle it better and you just want to be a hard nose, that's fine too, because sometimes that's how I am. Just want to wish you a happy Halloween. Be safe out there, and we will see you next week.